all you super geniuses out there. Welcome to another video lecture from Super Genius 99. And today we're going to do some inequalities. Okay, so the first one, let's read the instructions. Write in inequality notation and graph. Okay. So here we see -9, 8, and on both ends there are square brackets. So what does a square bracket means? Square brackets means inclusive. Okay, so just draw yourself a number line. Okay, and then just pick a point and make it -9 and -8 and label it. So -9, +8. And then, because they're inclusive, you can use the brackets. And so it's inclusive, so shade all that in. Okay, pretty simple. Let's look at another one. Here we have parentheses, -4, comma, 7, close parentheses. So let's draw ourselves a number line. Let's label 4 and 7. Okay, and then what do parentheses mean? So parentheses means we're not including that number, so it's like every number up to -4, not including -4. So just label that with the parentheses and you should be good. And then inclusive, so we're shading. Okay, so a little note on the inequalities. So an inequality, when you have an equality, are just equal signs in an equation, you know, it's an exact number, x equals 2, x equals 5, y equals 7, things like that. But when you have an inequality, you have a range of answers. So had this been the answer to some equation, when we'll do an equation in a minute, then it would be the range of solution is from -4 to +7. So inequality, you have a range of solutions versus just a single number. All right, let's look at another one. Okay, so here we have -5 and a +5. So let's just start off by drawing our number line and labeling those. Okay, so there's our -5 and our +5. So the -5 has the square bracket. So square bracket means you're including that number. And the +5 has the parentheses. That means you're not including that number. And then you shade in between. Now there's another way to do it, and I'll show it to you. Another way to do it is like this. Okay, so on that -5, rather than having a square bracket, you would have a closed circle. And over the +5, rather than have parentheses, you'd have an open circle. And then you'd shade everything in between. And so had this been an answer to a question, then the answer would be -5, including -5, up until +5, and that'd be your range of answers. All right, let's look at another one. Okay, so here we are going to graph -7 to infinity. Okay, so let's graph that -7 to infinity. So what would that look like on the graph? 1 second. Okay, if we want to put this in inequality notation, let's do that as well. So last we were just doing the graphs. Now let's do an inequality notation. So inequality notation of this will look like this. Okay, so x is greater than or equal to -7 and then less than infinity. Okay, so that's your inequality notation. Now let's graph that as well. Okay, so infinity does not exist on the graph. So how do you represent it? You just use an arrow. Okay, so we have x will be greater than or equal to the -7. So that greater than or equal to are the square brackets. That would be a closed circle if you were doing the circle notation, or you can just use the bracket. And then you just draw an arrow in the direction of the infinity. So since the infinity is on this side going this way, that's where we'll draw the arrow. And you just shade everything in between. All right, let's look at another one. Okay, so first thing, let's actually do the notation again. So what would be the notation? So just put an x in the middle. So this parentheses here means we're not including -7, so x would be greater than. Why not greater than equal to? Because parentheses means you don't include that number. So x greater than -7. And then x is less than or equal to a +7. Why the equal sign? Because it's brackets and you are including that number. So parentheses, excluding, brackets, or square brackets, including. Okay. And then now let's graph it. Okay, so we'll have a graph. I label my positive and negative sevens, okay? So you can just put the parentheses and the brackets over the negative and +7 as you see above. And just shade in between. Okay, that concludes this video lecture. Hope it helped you some. And good luck on all your tests and quizzes. Have a great day.